I have a bug today, and I know that video lives forever, but today business is trumping vanity. So here I am in all of my unpolished glory, talking to you about the Fivefold Goddess. The Fivefold Goddess is a model that is fluid, is inclusive, and is both linear and non-linear. So it has linear and non-linear aspects. What I mean by that is there is, on the one hand, the progression through the 5 faces of the goddess. On the other hand, those faces also are flexible to the point where you can potentially be in more than one of the faces or phases at the same time, and also you can bounce between the different phases at different points in your life. So there's recognition in the model of the nonlinear nature of our development as people throughout our lifetime. So I would like to tell you a little bit about why you would want to take the Fivefold Goddess course, which is starting June 2nd, coming up here real soon, and some of the motivations, some of the reasons that you would feel like that might be a good idea for you and good fit. So one of the things that one of the reasons that I wrote the Fivefold Goddess is because many women came to me, and over the years, and I have also had my own sort of complex feelings and kind of a necessity to examine where it was that the threefold model, the Maiden, Mother, Crone archetypal system, was not working for me. And then also over time, like I said, I had a lot of women, had conversations with a lot of women who felt like the threefold model didn't represent them. They didn't see themselves in that model. So now what that comes down to basically is the threefold model, the Maiden, Mother, Crone archetypal system, is based in procreative ability. So it's obviously mother is synonymous in the threefold model. Mother is synonymous with womanhood. And for many of us, that just doesn't feel accurate, whether we've had children or want to have children or not. Becoming women and becoming mothers is not something that's necessarily happens at the same time. Definitely, it's not an equivalency. So, and then also those of us who might decide to have children later in life, or not to have children at all, or can't have children, don't feel like we are in the maiden position perpetually either. So, and then also there's the fact that for many of us who have had children, that once our children are grown and moving out of the house, which is the point that I'm at right now, my older child is moving out of the home, that doesn't necessarily make us ready for cronehood. So moving out of the mother phase is not necessarily synonymous with moving into the crone phase. The fivefold model, not only does it have more stations that recognize the multiple phases of womanhood, it also, like I said, has the flexibility where you might go through those the first 3 levels, and then the first 3 phases, and then double back, as it were, or spiral back to the earlier phases. So I want to tell you what the 5 aspects of the Fivefold Goddess are. So the first is femella. I'm using Latin terms because I feel like there's less kind of front loading on them, so a little bit more of a blank slate approach, so that we don't have too many associations with the words that we're using for these archetypes. So the first is femella, and she is the child. She's the child. So we're staying away from the maiden concept. And when you read the book or when you take the course, you'll find out more about why I've made that choice and why that is coming through in this archetypal system, and what I've learned from this system about why it's important to separate out child from maiden. So femella is child. It's the child archetype. And you'll learn more about that in the course and the book. The second face of the Fivefold Goddess is potens. This means powerful and potential. And so that's like the young woman in the linear sense, the young woman striking out on her own. So going to college or taking off on her first big trip or stepping into her own power in whatever ways that comes about for that woman. And again, this is a nonlinear, there's a nonlinear application too, which I'll get into in a minute and also more thoroughly into in the course and in the book, of course. So then the next face of the goddess is creatrix. So I've chosen the term creatrix instead of matrix or genetrix, which both have matrix means mother, genetrix means basically the germinal beginning point. So both of those have biological connotations. Creatrix is a more flexible term that has more diverse meanings, and we get much further into that again in the course and the book. The fourth face of the Fivefold Goddess is sapientia. This means wisdom. It means sapience, right? So it means wisdom, but it also means woman of art and science. So she's the woman who has basically aced her area of interest and is now teaching, perhaps, or has a religious or spiritual foundation, or is a leader in her community. So sapientia is like wise. It's wise woman, but we aren't dependent on that sense of croning. And then Antiqua is the fifth face of the goddess. Antiqua is the old woman. She's the old witch at the gate. She's the old woman in our community, in our family, in ourselves, that needs to be taken care of, that needs to be taken into account. She's a woman who has probably spent her life in service and is now ready to be taken care of. And she's also the death face of the Fivefold Goddess. So those are the 5 faces of the Fivefold Goddess. And I want to talk for a moment about the nonlinear aspect of this model. So we have the linear aspect, which is through those 5 faces in an age-based progression. However, I do want to point out that they aren't based, the transitions between these faces are not based on biology. So you might be in Feminal for past the beginning of your bleeding cycle, past menarche. You might be in potens for, until you're 30 instead of till you're 17. There's no judgment on it, and it's all self-defining. So you're deciding when you move on to that next stage. So rites of passage are built according to your desire and your identity and your progression. Also, you might be in sapientia in one area where you've been teaching for a while, and then in creatrix while you're developing your next project or writing your next book or creating your next album. You might be in you might be in creatrix where you are parenting, and in Antiqua as you suffer, from an illness that's debilitating you. You might be in potens simultaneously while you're in sapientia. Say that you're in potens while you're developing a new loving relationship or sexual relationship with someone, and you're in sapientia in your career. So as you can see, nonlinear and multivalent. So you have multiple levels going on at once, because we do, right? We aren't just in one phase or face of our development at a time, where we are complex creatures and we have that complexity going on in our lives. So that's basically a thumbnail on the Fivefold Goddess, and kind of a teaser in some sense to get you interested, hopefully, in learning more about the Fivefold Goddess model. And like I said, I have a course coming up starting June 2nd, 2015. So if you see this after that course starts, you should check back and see if there's another course coming up in the near future, which there most likely will be. So you can find out more about the course at my website, lasarafirefoxallen.com. Oh yeah, I should probably mention who I am. I'm Lasara Firefox Allen, and I wrote Sexy Witch and now Fivefold Goddess. So you can find more information at my website, lasarafirefoxallen.com. That's LASARAFIREFOXALLEN.com. You can also find me on Facebook and find a ton of information there. So please contact me if you have any questions, and I look forward to having you in the course. And yeah, exciting. Looking forward to it starting and looking forward to having you on board. Thanks for listening. Bye.